There was a time when the world was at peace, he said, as he walked through the dark and musty home, creaking floor panels below his worn steel-toed boots. As he brushed the cobwebs off his sleeve, a faint cackle was heard in the distance. "Hello?" the man replied. Is anybody there?" There was no retort. The man pressed forward, turning his flashlight on as he walked through a dark corridor. The cackle occurred again, but this time it was in front of the man and a little louder. "It was a mistake coming here," the man muttered out loud, his voice creaking a little. The flashlight started to dim. "I need to find some batteries, if only I could find some around here." Then the cackle was heard again, and this time it was closer. The man was more alarmed than ever, because he knew that this place had been abandoned for years, and he was the only one to step foot in it for quite some time because the front door handles were tarnished and rusted from the elements. He had heard stories about the people who had lived here, a family that had disappeared 30 to 40 years ago without a trace. Rumors said that the husband had killed the family in a fit of rage before killing himself. Other rumors said that the family had ran off because the house was haunted before they even moved in. Either way, the man had come to the house because he had lost a bet. He had to traverse the house for one night. Maybe he should have tried a little harder to win that card game. As the man was thinking back to his days not inside the house, he came across a door. It surprised him at first because the hallway had gone on for miles, and he jiggled the handle, and at first it seemed locked, but then it slowly creaked open. Then the cackle grew louder. It was inside this room. The room was a large ballroom that had been used to entertain guests, but it was clear that no parties were ever hosted here. All the walls in the room were covered with mirrors, which gave the illusion that the room was significantly larger than it actually was. The furniture in the room was covered in dust cloths to keep each piece fresh as it sat for ages. As the man gazed at himself in the mirror, his mustache began to twirl all on its own, and the cackle was heard again, but this time it was right in his ear. He turned to face what had been taunting him for the past hour, but there was nothing there. A cold gust blew by him, chilling him to the bone, but yet he still couldn't see what was clearly something of a ghost in the room with him. "Show yourself!" The cracks in his voice were a dead giveaway that this man was terrified. The cackle just grew louder and more frequent, and then the man noticed one of the sheets had moved. He shined the flashlight in the corner, and the ghost appeared to be froze in place. It didn't look like a person, though. It was round, with sharp teeth and a big red tongue. And the ghost began to move around the room, this time cackling and coming right up to the man as if to attack. And the man searched for an exit, but it appeared that the door on this side was lined with mirrors as well. And the ghost dived for the man, but he was able to duck out of the way, and he shined the light on the ghost once more, and again the ghost froze. As the light spilled through the ghost, there was a vacuum cleaner in sight, one of those that fits on your back. "I wonder," thought the man, but there was no time to think further. He turned to face the ghost again, and the ghost had disappeared, but the cackle still came from in the room. The man grabbed the vacuum, strapped it onto his back, then turned his flashlight on, but this time the flashlight didn't turn on. The cackling grew closer, and the air got colder again. This was the end, he said. Mamma mia.